1 and 2 with Maud and Lou, parlez-vous. 3 and 4, 2 goals more, parlez-vous. 5 and 6 with Bella and Trix, 7, 8, Clara and Caroline, Inky, Pinky, parlez-vous. 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 Tick-tock, wind up the clock, we'll start the day all over again. Inky, Pinky, parlez-vous. Oh, hello, Osborne. Your fellows arriving?
Yes, they're just coming in.
Well, splendid. Have a drink.
Thanks.
Oh, don't have too much water. It's rather strong today.
I wonder what it is they put in the water.
Some sort of disinfectant, I suppose.
I'd rather have the microbes, wouldn't you?
I would, yes.
Well, cheerio.
Cheero. Oh, excuse my sock, won't you?
Oh, certainly. It's a nice looking sock.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it? Guaranteed to keep the feet dry. The trouble is, it gets so wet doing it.
Stanhope asked me to come and take over. He's looking after the men coming in.
Oh, splendid. I really am glad you've all come.
I heard it was a quiet bit of line-up here.
Well, yes, in a way. But you never know. Sometimes nothing happens for hours on end. Then all of a sudden, over she comes! Rifle grenades, minis, and those horrid little things like pineapples, you know.
I know.
Swish, 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 swish. Bang!
All right, I know.
Oh, they simply blew us to bits yesterday. Minis, enormous ones, about 20. 3 bang in the trench. I really am glad you've come. I'm not just simply being polite.
Too much damage?
Awful. The dugout got blown up and came down in the men's tea. They were frightfully annoyed.
I know. There's nothing worse than dirt in your tea.
Oh, by the way, do you know that the big German attack is expected any day now?
It's been expected for the last month.
Yes, but it's very near now. There's funny things happening over in Bosch country, you know. I've been out listening at night when it's quiet. There's more transport coming in than usual. You can hear it rattling over the pave. One after another. More trains in the distance, bringing up loads and loads of men.
Yes, it's coming. Pretty soon now.
I say, are you here for 6 days?
Yes.
Oh, I think you shall get it right in the neck.
Well, you won't be far away. Come along, let's do this handing over. Where's the map?
Yes. Here we are. Now we hold about 200 yards of front line. We've got a Lewis gun just here, and another one here, in this little sap. Sentry posts where the crosses are.
Where do the men sleep?
I don't know. The Sergeant Major sees to that. Servants and signallers sleep in there. 2 officers in here, and 3 in there. That is, if you've got 5 officers.
We've only got 4 at present, but a new man's coming up tonight. He arrived at transport lines a day or 2 ago.
I hope you get better luck than I did with my last officer. He got on the bagel the first night, had to be sent home. Now he's got a job lecturing young officers on life in the front line.
Yes, they do send some funny people over here nowadays. I hope we're lucky and get a youngster straight from school. They're the kind that do best.
Yes, I suppose they are, really.
5 beds, you say? Is this the best one?
Oh, no, no. That would be mine. The others in the other dugouts haven't got any bottoms in them. You keep yourself in by hanging your arms and legs over the side. Doesn't hang your legs too low. All the rats gnaw your boots.
You got many rats here?
I should say roughly around 2 million. But then, of course, I don't see them all. Wow. There's something else you want to know, is there?
Well, you haven't told me anything yet.
Well, what else do you want to know?
Well, what about trench stores?
God, you are a fussy old man. Anybody would think you're in the army. Right. 115 rifle grenades. I shouldn't use them if I were you. They upset Jerry and make him offensive. Besides, they are rusty in any case. Then we've got 500 Mills bombs, 34 gun boots.
That's 17 pairs.
No. 25 right leg and 9 left leg. But everything's down here.
But did you check it when you took over?
No, I think the Sergeant Major did. It's quite all right.
I expect Stanhope would like to see you before you go. He always likes to work with the company commander he's relieving.
Ah, how is the dear young man? Drinking like a fish as usual?
Why'd you say that?
Well, damn it, it's just the natural thing to ask about Stanhope. Poor old man. It must be pretty rotten for you, being his second in command. And you're such a quiet, sober old thing.
He's a long way the best company commander we've got.
Oh, he's a good chap, I know. But I never did see a youngster put away the amount of whiskey he does. Do you know, the last time we were out resting at the lawns, he came to sup with us and drank a whole bottle in 1 hour 14 minutes we timed him.
I suppose it amused everybody. I suppose everybody cheered him on and said what a splendid achievement it was.
Well, he didn't want any cheering on.
No, but everybody thought it was a big thing to do, didn't they?
Well, you have to somehow admire a fellow who can do that, and then pick up his own hat all by himself and walk home.
When a boy like Stanhope gets a reputation out here for drinking, he turns into a kind of freak show exhibit. People pay with a bottle of whiskey for the morbid curiosity of seeing him drink it.
Well, naturally, you're biased. You have to put into Beverly's home.
Rather reminds you of bear baiting or cockfighting, to sit and watch a boy drink himself unconscious.
Well, I mean, it is pretty dull without something to liven people up. I mean, after all, Stanhope really is a sort of freak. I mean, it is jolly fascinating to see a fellow drink like he does, glass after glass. Stanhope didn't go home on his last leave, did he?
No.
I suppose he wasn't fit enough to meet Papa. You know his father's vicar of a country village.
I know.
Imagine Stanhope taking his leave in a country vicarage sipping tea. He spent his last leave in Paris, didn't he?
Yes.
Ha ha! I bet that was some leave.
Do you know how long he's been out here?
Oh, a good time, I know.
Nearly 3 years. He came out straight from school when he was 18. He's commanded this company for a year, in and out of the front lines. He's never had a rest. Other men come over here and go home ill again, and young Stanhope goes on sticking it month in, month out.
Oh, I know. He's a jolly good fellow.
I've seen him on his back all day with trench fever, then on duty again all night.
Oh, I know. He's a splendid chap.
And because he's stuck it till his nerves have got battered to bits, he's called a drunkard.
Not a drunkard. Just a hard drinker. But you are quite right about his nerves. They are all to blazes. Do you know, the last time we were out resting, we were playing bridge and something happened. I can't remember what it was, some silly little argument. And all of a sudden he jumped up and knocked off all the glasses off the table, lost control of himself. And then, well, he sort of came to and cried.
I know.
You heard about it?
He told me.
Did he? Oh, we'll try to hush it up, of course. It just shows the state he was in. You know, Osborne, you ought to be commanding this company.
Oh, rubbish.
Of course you ought. It sticks out a mile. I know Stanhope has got pluck and all that, but damn it, man, you're twice his age, and think what a dear, level-headed old thing you are.
Don't be an ass. He was out here before I joined up. His experience alone makes him worth a dozen people like me.
You know as well as I do, you ought to be in command.
There isn't a man to touch him as a commander of men. He'll command the battalion one day if...
Yes, if.
You don't know him as I do. I love that fellow. I'd go to hell with him.
Oh, you sweet, sentimental old darling.
Come along. Finish handing over and stop blithering.
Well, there's nothing else to do.
Well, what about the logbook?
God, you are a worker. Here we are. Written right up to date. Here's my last entry. 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. All quiet. German airman flew over trenches, shot a rat.
Did he?
No, I shot the rat, you ass. Well, finish up your whiskey. I'm going to pack my mug. I'll leave you that drop for a minute.
Thanks.
I'll be off.
Well, aren't you going to wait and see Stanhope?
Well, no, I don't especially want to see Stanhope. He gets so fussy about the trenches. I expect they are rather dirty. He'll talk for ages if he catches me. Well, I hope you have a nice 6 days out here, Osborne. Don't forget to change your clothes if you get wet.
No, Papa.
And don't forget about the big attack.
Oh, Lord, no. I mustn't miss that. I'll make a note in my diary.
Here we are. Do I look every inch a soldier?
Oh, yes. I should get quite a fright if I were a German and met you coming round a corner.
I should bloody well think you would.
Shouldn't be able to run away for laughing.
Now, don't be rude. Well, I'm down, still at it.
What is?
Why, that earwig. It's been running round and round this table since tea time. Must have done a mile.
I shouldn't hang about here if I were an earwig.
Nor should I. I'd go home. Ever had an earwig race before?
No.
Great fun. We've had them every evening.
What are the rules?
Well, you each have an earwig and start them in a line. On word go, you dig your earwig in the ribs and steer him with a match across the table. I won 10 francs last night on a splendid earwig. I'll give you a tip.
Yes?
Promise not to let it go any farther?
Yes.
Well, if you want to get the best pace out of an earwig, dip it in whiskey, mix and go like hell.
Right. Thanks awfully.
Well, I'll be off. Cheero.
Cheero.
1 and 2 with Morden Lou, parlez-vous. 3 and 4, 2 girls more, parlez-vous.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I lay supper?
Yes, do.
Thank you, sir.
What are you going to tempt us with tonight, Mason?
Soup, cutlets and pineapple, sir.
Cutlets.
Well, yes, cutlets, sir. Cutlets, sir, yeah.
Sort of cutlets.
You got me there, sir. I shouldn't like to commit myself too deep.
Ordinary ration meat?
Ordinary ration meat, sir, but a new shape. Smells like liver, but ain't got that smooth wet look that liver's got.
This is C Company headquarters, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Gonna go down, sir.
Yes, righto.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
You the new officer?
Yes, I've been to battalion headquarters and they told me to report here.
Good. We've been expecting you. Sit down, won't you?
Thanks.
I should take your pack off.
Oh, right.
Will you have a drink?
Well...
You don't drink whiskey?
Just a small one, sir.
Whiskey takes away the taste of the water. And the water takes away the taste of the whiskey. Just out from England?
Yes, I landed a week ago.
Boulogne?
Yes. Well, here's luck, sir.
Good luck. A cigarette?
Thanks.
Ever been up in the line before?
No, you see, I only left school at the end of last summer term.
I expect you find it a bit strange.
I do, of course.
My name's Osborne. I'm second in command of the company. You only call me sir in front of the men.
I see, thanks.
You'll find the other officers call me uncle.
Oh, yes?
What's your name?
Barney.
I knew a Raleigh, a master of rugby.
No, he may be a relation. I don't know, I've got a lot of uncles and things like that.
We've only just moved into these trenches. Captain Stanhope commands the company.
I know, it's a fight for a bit of luck.
Why, do you know him?
Yes, rather, we were at school together. At least, of course, I was only a kid. And he was one of those big fellows. He's 3 years older than I am.
He's up in the front line at present, looking after the men. He's a splendid chap.
I bet he is. He was skipper of rugger at Barford, kept wicket for the 11, and a jolly good bat too.
Did you play rugger and cricket?
Yes. At least, of course, I wasn't in the same class as Dennis. I say, I suppose I ought to call him Captain Stanhope.
Just Stanhope.
I see, thanks.
Did you get your colours?
I did for cricket, not rugger.
Rugger and cricket seem a long way from here.
They do rather.
We play a bit of soccer when we're out of the line. So you were at school with Stanhope. I wonder if you'll remember you. I expect you've grown in the last 3 years.
Well, I think you'll remember me. You see, we weren't just at school together. Our fathers were friends, and Dennis used to come and stay with us in the holidays. Naturally, at school we didn't see much of each other, but during the holidays we were terrific pals.
He's a fine company commander.
I bet he is. Last time he was on leave, he came down to the school. Just got his MC and we made a captain. He looked splendid. It sort of made me feel...
Keen?
Yes, keen to get out here. I was frightfully keen to get to Dennis's regiment. And I thought, perhaps, with a bit of luck, I might get in the same battalion.
It's a big fluke to have got to the same company.
I know. At the base, I did an awful thing. You see, my uncle was at the base. He details officers to regiments.
General Raleigh?
Yes. I went to see him on the quiet and asked if I could get you to this battalion. He bit my head off and said I had to be treated like everybody else.
Yes.
And the next day I was told I was coming to this battalion. Funny, wasn't it?
Extraordinary coincidence.
And when I got to battalion headquarters and the colonel told me to report to C Company, I could have cheered. I expect Stanhope will be frightfully surprised to see me. I've got a letter for him.
From the colonel?
No, from my sister.
Your sister?
Yes, Dennis used to come and stay with us, and naturally my sister. Perhaps I ought not.
That's all right. I didn't actually know that Stanhope...
They're not officially engaged.
No?
She'll be awfully glad I'm waiting here. I can write to her and tell him all about him. Doesn't say much in his letters. Can you write often?
Oh yes, letters are collected every day.
You don't think Stanhope will mind my sort of forcing myself into his company? I hadn't thought of that. I was so keen.
Of course he won't. You say it's a good time since you last saw him.
Well, let's see. It was summer last year, almost a year ago.
You know, Raleigh, you mustn't expect to find him quite the same.
Oh.
You see, he's been out here a long time. It tells on a man rather badly.
Well, yes, I suppose it does.
You may find he's a little bit quick-tempered.
Oh, I know old Dennis's temper. I remember once at school he got some chaps in the study with a bottle of whiskey. Lord, the roof nearly blew off. He was each a dozen of the quickest stuff. He was so keen on the chaps in the house keeping fit, and frightfully down on smoking and that sort of thing.
You must remember he's commanded this company for a long time. Through all sorts of rotten times. It's a big strain on a man.
Oh, it must be.
If you notice a difference in Stanhope, you'll know it's only the strain.
Yes.
Now, let's see. We've got 5 beds here, 1 each, 2 in here and 3 in that dugout there. I'm afraid you'll have to wait for the others to come and pick the beds they want.
Righto?
Have you got a blanket?
Yes, my pack.
Better wait and unpack when you know where you're sleeping.
Righto?
We never undress when we're in the line. You can take your boots off now and then in the daytime, but it's better to keep pretty well dressed always.
Yes.
I expect we shall each do about 3 hours on duty at a time and then 6 hours off. We all go on duty at stand 2, that's at dawn and dusk.
Right.
I expect Stanhope will send you on duty with one of us at first, until you get used to it.
Are we in the front line here?
No, that's the support line outside. The front line is about 50 yards further on.
How frightfully quiet it is.
It's often quiet like this.
I thought there'd be an awful row here all the time.
Most people think that.
I've never known anything so quiet as the trenches I came by. Just now and then I heard rifle firing like the range at Bisley. A sort of rumble in the distance.
Those are the guns up north, up Wipers way. It's never quiet up there, the guns are always going. I expect you find it all very strange.
I do a bit. It's just this quiet seems so funny.
100 yards from here, the Germans are sitting in their dugouts thinking how quiet it is.
Are you as near as that?
About 100 yards.
It seems uncanny. Makes me feel like we're all waiting for something.
Well, we are generally all just waiting for something. When anything happens, it happens quickly. Then we just start waiting again.
Never thought it was like that.
You thought it was fighting all the time?
Well, yes, in a way.
Did you come up by trench tonight or over the top?
By trench. An amazing trench. Twisting and turning for miles over a sort of plain.
Lancer's Alley, it's called.
Is it? It's funny the way it begins in that ruined village, in the cellar of one of the houses. then through the cellar and into a little garden place. And then under the garden wall and next to this big factory type place. And miles of plain with those green lights bobbing up and down along the front line as far as you can see.
Those are the very lights. Both sides fire them up over no man's land to watch for raids or patrols.
I knew they'd find lights and dispatch so many and to see them from so far away.
I know. There's something rather romantic about it all.
Yes, I thought that too.
You must always think of it like that if you can. Think of it all as romantic. It helps.
You expecting the captain soon, sir? The soup's hot.
He ought to be here very soon now. This is Mr. Raleigh, Mason.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I've had rather an unpleasant surprise, sir.
What's happened?
You know that tin of pineapple chunks I had, sir?
Yes?
Well, I'm sorry to say it's apricots.
Good heavens. Must have given you a turn.
I distinctly remember asking for pineapple in the canteen, sir.
Wasn't there a label on the tin?
No, sir. I said to the man, was he certain it was pineapple?
I suppose you said he was.
Yes, he said a leopard can't change his spots.
What have leopards got to do with pineapple?
That's just what I thought, sir. Maybe think something fishy was going on. I know the captain can't stand apricots. The last time I served them, he said the next time I served them, he'd bring my neck.
Oh, haven't you anything else?
Well, it's a pink blancmange, sir, but it's not really stiff enough yet.
Never mind. We must have the apricots and chance it.
I thought I'd tell you, sir, so the captain don't tell me off.
All right, Mason.
All right, Sergeant Major.
Oh, just go in, just have the soup, sir.
That sounds like the captain coming now. Has Hardy gone? Yes, he cleared off a few minutes ago.
He would go. I had a few words to say to Master Hardy. You know, saw the blasted mess. Those fellows left the trenches. Dugouts smell like cesspits. Rusty bombs, damp rifle grenades. Perfectly foul. Where are the servants?
In there.
Mason!
Come in, sir, just bring in the soup, sir.
Well, damn the soup. Bring some whiskey.
Here's a new officer, Stanhope. Just arrived.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you through this miserable light.
Hello, Stanhope.
How did you get here?
Well, I was told to report to your company, Stanhope.
I see. Quite a coincidence.
Yes.
I say, Stanhope, it's a most terrible business. We thought we'd got a tin of pineapple chunks. Turns out to be apricots.
Give me apricots anytime. I can't stand pineapple chunks. Too blooming sickly for me.
I'm awfully glad to be part of your company, Stanhope.
When did you get here?
Well, I've only just come.
He came up with the transport while you were taking over.
I see. Well, come along, Uncle. Come and sit by me. You'd better sit there, though.
Right.
You Raleigh?
Yes.
I'm Trotter. How are you?
All right, thanks.
Feel a bit odd, I suppose.
Yes, a bit.
You'll soon get used to it. You'll feel you've been here a year in about an hour's time.
What kind of soup is this, Mason?
Yellow soup, sir.
It's got a very deep yellow flavour.
I want some pepper. Bring some pepper, Mason.
I'm sorry, sir, when the mess box was packed, the pepper was omitted.
Damn it.
We must have pepper. It's a disinfectant.
Must have pepper in soup.
Why wasn't it packed, Mason?
It was missed, sir.
Why?
Well, I left it to Bert.
Then I advise you never to leave it to anyone else again. Unless you want to rejoin your platoon out there.
Very sorry, sir.
Sergeant Major!
I'm inside.
We must have pepper.
I mean, war with pepper is bad enough, but war without pepper? It's blooming awful. Yes, sir.
Send one of the signallers to A Company headquarters. Tell them to ask Captain Willis with my compliments if he can lend me a little pepper.
Very good, sir.
What's it like outside?
It's quiet as an old house. There's a nasty noise going on up north.
Wipers, I expect. I believe there's trouble up there. I wish we knew more of what's going on.
So do I. Still, my wife reads the papers every morning and writes and tells me.
Hardy says they had a lively time here yesterday. 3 big minis right in the trench.
They left the blooming holes for us to fill in. What's that?
Meat, sir.
I can see that. What sort?
Sort of cutlet, sir.
What sort of cutlet is it, Mason? You know, there's cutlets and cutlets.
I know, that's a cutlet.
Well, Don't let me cut it.
No?
It's a joke, Mason.
Oh, right.
There's a sort of ruin marked on this map just in front of here in no man's land called Beauvais Farm.
And that's what we saw sticking up, Skipper. I wondered what it was.
You better have a look at it tonight.
I expect there'll be a nasty German who'll hop out and say, "Fuck the Kaiser!" I can't stand blinking ruins in no man's land.
Well, there are only about 60 yards of no man's land according to this map. Narrower on the left, from the head of this sap, only about 50.
Cheer up, Skipper. You do look glum.
I'm tired. I should turn in and get some sleep after supper. I've got hours of work before I sleep. Well, I'll do the duty roll and see the Sergeant Major and all that. All right, Uncle. I'll see to it. Trotter goes on duty directly he's had supper. We'd better go on with him to learn.
It's nearly 8. Can't we make it 1:30, Skipper?
No, I told Hibbert he'd be relieved at 8. Can you do from 11 till 2? Right. Hibbert can do from 2 till 4, and I'll do from then till stand 2. I'll be at 6.
Well, here we are for another 6 days, boys. 6 blooming eternal days. That's 144 hours, 8,640 minutes. Well, that doesn't sound too bad, does it? We've done 20 of them already. Got an idea. I'm going to draw out 144 little circles, and every hour that passes, I'll black one of them out. I'll make the time pass all right.
It's nearly 5 to 8 now. You'd better go and relieve Hibbert. After that, you can come back and black in 3 of your bloody little servants.
But I haven't had my apricots yet.
We'll keep your apricots till you come back.
I never knew anything like war for upsetting meals. I'm always down for duty in the middle of them.
That's because you never stop eating, Trotter.
Anyhow, Mason, coffee.
Have it, sir.
Right, I'll get dressed then. Come on, Riley.
Right.
That's it. Come on, lad. Right. Got your belt with revolver case on it. Good, you'll need that to shoot rats. And your gas mask. You wear it tucked under your chin like a serviette. That's it.
Guess I will show the way home.
Good lad. Now your hat. Look, you don't want a walking stick, boy. It will slow you down if you've got to run fast.
Do we have to run fast?
Oh Lord, yes. Often. Especially if you see a mini coming. It's a big trench mortar shell, you know, short for mini Werfer. You see them coming right out of the Bosch trenches. Up, and then down, down, down. And you've got to judge it and run like stink sometimes.
Coffee, sir.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You can keep my apricots on a separate plate out there, Mason.
Very good, sir.
Don't know what would happen to them if you brought them in here.
No, sir.
B company on our right, are they, Skipper?
That's right. There's 50 yards of undefended area between. Make sure you patrol that a good deal.
Aye, aye, Skipper.
And have a look at the Lewis gun position on the left. See what field of fire they've got.
Aye, aye, Skipper. You don't want me to patrol that blooming ruin?
That's all right. I'll see to it.
Good. I don't fancy crawling around on my belly after that cutlet. Well, come on, lad. Let's go and see about this here wharf.
Will you take apricots, sir?
No, thanks.
You, Mr. Osborne?
No thanks.
Sorry about the apricots, sir. I did.
That's all right,
explain to
Mason.
you.
Thank you.
Very good, sir.
Will you sleep there? That was Hardy's bed. No, I'd rather sleep by the table. I can get up and work without disturbing. Well, that's a better one. Then you two. Must have a little comfort in your old age, Uncle. I wish you'd turn in and get some sleep. Sleep. I can't sleep. Well, Hibbert?
Everything's fairly quiet. Bit of sniping off to our left and a couple of rifle grenades just on our right.
I see. Mason's got your supper.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't manage any supper tonight, Stanhope. It's this neuralgia of mine. It feels as if it's right inside this eye, you see. Well, it's easily pain, it's worse every day. My Hot soup and a good tough chop will put that right.
Oh, I'm afraid the pain I'll have to take some appetite away. I'm damn sorry to keep talking about it, Stanhope. Only I thought you'd wonder why I never eat much.
Try and forget about it.
I wish I could.
Get tight.
I think I'll turn in for a rest. Try to get some sleep.
All right, turn in. Your dugout's in there. Here's your pack. You go on duty at 2. I'll relieve you at 4. I'll tell Mason to call you.
Right. Thanks, Stanhope. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Oh, could I have a candle?
Here. Another little worm trying to wriggle home.
I wonder if he really is bad. He looks rotten.
Pure bloody funk. That's all. He could eat if he wanted to. He's starving himself purposefully. Awful little swine. Neuralgia is a splendid idea. No proof as far as I can see.
You can't help feeling sorry for him. I think he's tried hard.
How long has he been out? 3 months, I suppose. Now he's decided he's played his part. He thinks he can go home and spend the rest of the war in comfortable nerve hospitals. Well, he's mistaken. I let Warren get away like that, but no more.
I don't see how you can prevent a fellow going sick.
Have a quiet word with the doctor before he does. He thinks he's going to wriggle off before the attack. We'll just see about that. No man of mine is going free before this attack. They're going to take an equal chance together.
Raleigh looks a nice chap.
Yes.
Good-looking youngster. At school with you, wasn't he?
Has he been talking already?
Well, he just mentioned it. It was a natural thing to tell me when he knew you were in command. He's awfully pleased to get into your company. He seems to think a lot of you.
Yes. I'm his hero.
Well, it's quite natural.
You think so?
Well, small boys at school generally have their heroes.
Yes. Small boys at school do.
Often it goes on as long as...
Well, as long as the hero's a hero.
It often goes on all through life.
I wonder, Uncle, how many battalions are there in France?
Why?
Well, we'll say 50 divisions. That's 150 brigades, 450 battalions. That's 1,800 companies. There are 1,800 companies in France, Uncle. Raleigh might have been sent to any one of those, and my God, he comes to mind.
You ought to be glad. He's a good-looking youngster. I like him.
Oh, I knew you'd like him. Personality, isn't it? Never shown you this. Have I?
No. Raleigh's sister, isn't it?
How did you know?
Oh, there's a strong likeness.
I suppose there is.
She's an awfully nice-looking girl.
The photograph doesn't show much, really, just a face.
She looks awfully nice. You're a lucky chap.
I don't know why I keep it.
Why? Isn't she... Well, I thought...
What did you think?
Well, I thought perhaps she was waiting for you.
She is waiting. And she doesn't know. She thinks I'm a wonderful chap commanding a company. She doesn't realise that if I went up into the line without being doped with whiskey, I'd go mad with fright.
Look here, old chap. I've wanted to say for a long time that I thought it damn cheek. You've done longer out here than any man in the battalion. It's time you went away for a rest. It's due to you.
Are you suggesting that I go ill? Neuralgia in the eye, like that little worm in there?
No, not that. The colonel would have sent you down long ago, only...
Only what?
Only he can't spare you.
Oh, rot.
He told me.
He thinks I'm in such a state I want to rest, is that it?
No.
thinks it's due to you. It's all right, Uncle. I'll see it through now. May not be much longer. I've had my share of luck, or more than my share. You know, there's not a single man left who was here when I first came. But it's rather damning for that boy, of all boys in the world, to have come to me. I might at least have been spared that.
I say, you're looking at things in rather a black way.
That boy is a hero worshipper. I'm 3 years older than he is. You know what that means at school. I was skipper of rugger and all that then. I know it doesn't mean much to men out here, but it does at school. To a boy of 14. Damn it, you're a schoolmaster, Uncle. You know.
I've just told you what I think about hero worship.
Raleigh's father knew mine. I was told to keep an eye on the kid. I rather liked the idea of looking after him. I made him keen on all the right things. His people asked me to stay with them one summer. I met his sister then.
Yes.
At first I thought of her as another kid, like Raleigh. It wasn't until just before I came out here for the first time that I realised what a topping girl she was. Funny how you realise it suddenly. I just prayed to come through the war and do things. Keep fit for her.
You've done pretty well. An MC and a company.
It was all right at first. When I went home on leave after 6 months, it felt awfully nice to know that I'd done something to make her feel proud. It was after I came back here, that awful affair on Vimy Ridge, that I knew I'd go mad with fright if I didn't break the strain. I couldn't bear to be fully conscious all the time. You felt that, Uncle, haven't you?
Yes. Often.
There's only two things I could do. One was pretend I was ill and go home. The other was this. Which would you choose?
I haven't been through as much as you. I don't know yet.
Well, I thought it all through. It's a slimy thing to go home if you aren't really ill.
I think it is.
Well then, cheero, and long live the men who go home with neuralgia. I didn't go home on my last leave. I couldn't bear to meet her in case she realised.
When the war's over and the strain's gone, you'll soon be as fit as ever at your age.
I've hoped that all along. I'd go away for months and live in the open air. Get fit. Go back to her.
And so you can.
If Raleigh had gone to one of those other 1,800 companies.
I don't see why you should think.
Oh my God. Don't be such a damn fool. You know he'll write to her and tell her that I reek of whiskey all day.
Why should he? He's not a...
Exactly. He's not a damn little swine who'd deceive his sister.
He's very young. He's got hundreds of strange things to learn. He'll realise that men are different out here.
It's no use. Didn't you see him there at dinner, staring at me and wondering? He's up in those trenches right now, wondering. And beginning to understand. And all these months he's wanted to be out here with me, poor little devil.
I believe Raleigh will go on liking you and looking up to you through everything. There's something very deep and rather fine about hero worship.
Oh, hero worship be damned! You know, Uncle, I'm an awful fool. I'm captain of this company. What does that little prig of a boy matter anyway? Do you see? He's a little prig. Wants to write home and tell Madge all about me. Well, he won't. Do you see? He won't write. Censorship. I censor his letters. Cross out all he says about me.
Can't read his letters.
Cross out all he says about me. Then we'll go west in the big attack. And she goes on thinking that I'm a fine fellow forever and ever and ever.
It's not as bad as all that. Come on, You come and lie down and go to sleep.
Sleep. Catch me wasting my time with sleep.
Come along, old chap. You come and lie down here.
Did I ask him to force his way into my company? No, I didn't. Very well. He'll pay for his damn cheek.
Come on.
What are you doing? Go away.
Come and lie down and go to sleep.
Go sleep yourself. I censor his letters. Do you see, Uncle? You make sure he doesn't smuggle any out of here.
Righto. Now you come and lie down. You've had a hard day of it.
Where's Harvey? Did you say he's gone?
Yes, he's gone.
Gone, has he? Well, he would go, the swine. I had a word to say to Master Hart. Dirty trenches. Everything's so damn dirty. I want to tell him to keep his trenches clean.
We'll clean them up tomorrow.
Dear old uncle. You're going to clean the trenches up with a little dustpan and brush. We'll make a little apron for you with some lace on it.
That'll be fine. Now you come and lie down. I see you're called at 2 o'clock. You must be tired.
Why, I am tired. I ache all over. I feel sick.
You'll feel all right in a minute. How's that? Comfortable?
Yes, comfortable. Well, tuck me up, Uncle.
There we are.
Kiss me.
Kiss you be blowed. You go to sleep.
Yes. Sleep.
Mason.
Yes, sir?
Will you call me at 10 minutes to 11 and Mr. Hibbert at 10 minutes to 2? I'm going to turn in for a little while.
Very good, sir. Pepper's come, sir.
Oh, good.
Sorry about the pepper, sir.
That's all right, Mason.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
What a lovely smell of bacon.
Yeah, I reckon there's enough smell of bacon in here to last till dinner.
Nothing like a good fat bacon rasher when you're as empty as I am.
Glad you like it fat, sir.
Oh, I like it lean too.
It was a bit lean in yours, sir, but it sort of shrunk up in the cooking.
Bad cooking, that's all. Any porridge?
Oh, yes, sir, it's porridge, sir.
Lumpy, I suppose.
Nice and lumpy, sir.
We can take the lumps out of mine.
Just bring you the gravy, sir. Very good, sir.
So that man's getting familiar.
Oh, he's not a bad cook.
Do you realise he's washed his dishcloth?
I know. I told him about it.
You've got some pluck. How did you go about that?
I wrote and asked my wife for a packet of lunch, and I gave it to Mason and suggested he tried it on something.
Good man. Ah, he's not a bad cook. He could be a lot worse. We had a prize cook when I was in the ranks. Plumber he was before the war. You ought to have seen the stew he made. Thin. Thin wasn't the word. You put a bucket full of that in the bath, pull the plug, and the whole lot would come out in a couple of gurgles.
I took the lump, sir.
You can keep them. You can use them for dumplings next time we have boiled beef.
Very good, sir.
Prize cook he was, that plumber. Lucky for us. He set himself on fire one day trying to make the tea. He went home pretty well fried. Did Mason get that pepper?
Yes.
Good. Must have pepper in soup.
I thought you were on duty now.
Well, I'm supposed to be. Stanhope sent me down to finish my breakfast. He's looking after things till I'm done.
He's got a long job then.
Well, I'm a quick eater. Mason! Bacon!
Coming, sir.
It's a wonderful morning.
It's lovely, isn't it? Sort of makes you feel young and hopeful. I was up in the old trench just now, under the brick wall. Damned if a little bird didn't start singing. Didn't that sound funny? Sign of spring, I suppose. Oh, well, that looks all right.
If you look right down from above it, you can just see that bit of lead in the middle.
Good Lord, yes, that's it.
No, that's a bit of rust off the pan, sir.
Oh, well, that's it then.
You got it, sir.
That's a slice of bread, Uncle.
How's it going up there?
I don't like the look of things one bit.
You mean the quiet?
Standing up in the trench last night. Didn't seem a thing in the world alive except the sound of the rats squeaking and my belly grumbling about that cutlet.
It's quiet even now.
Too damn quiet. You can bet your boots the Bosch is up to something. Big attack soon, I suppose, Uncle. Pass the jam.
It's strawberry.
Is it? Well, glad we got rid of that raspberry jam. Can't stand raspberry jam. The pips get stuck behind your plate.
Did Stanhope tell you he wants 2 wiring parties out tonight?
Yeah, he's up there fixing them now. Doesn't he look ill, Uncle?
I'm afraid he's not well.
Well, nobody would be carrying on the way he does. You know, when you came up to relieve me last night,
Yes?
me and Riley came back here and there was Stanhope sat on the bed drinking a whiskey. God, he looked awful. White as a sheet. He'd finished the whole bottle since dinner. I looked at him and said hello. He didn't seem to know who I was. Uncanny, wasn't it, Riley?
Yes.
He just looked at Riley and said, "Go to bed, Riley," just as though he'd been some sort of a school kid.
Did he? Did he? Look at the sun. It'll be quite warm soon.
It's warm now if you stand outside with your face in it. First time this year. I hope we have a hot summer.
So do I.
You know, it's funny about that bird. Made me feel quite braced up. Reminded me of my garden of an evening, walking around in my slippers, smoking my pipe.
You were keen on gardening?
Yeah, I used to do a bit of an evening. I had a decent little plot out front. Calceolarias, lobelias, geraniums. Red, white and blue. Look rather nice in the summer.
Yes.
One year I had a fine set of hollyhocks. Grew to 8 feet high. I took a photo of it. Do you want to see?
I would. By Jove, it's a beauty.
Would you see that there?
Yes.
That's the roof of the summer house.
Is it really?
Yeah, it just shows you how high the hollyhocks were.
It does. A beauty, isn't it?
Rather.
I didn't want no stick to keep it straight, neither. You keen on gardening?
Yes, a bit. I made a rockery when I was home on leave. I used to cycle out to the woods and pick primroses and things like that, and try to get them to grow in my garden.
Well, I don't suppose they would.
Well, they would if you pressed a bit of moss around them.
Make them feel at home, eh?
I'll be coming out again soon, if they've got this sun at home.
I reckon they will. I remember one morning last spring, we was coming out of the salient just about the time the Bosch was using that sweet smelling gas, you know, the one that smells like pear drops.
I know. Phosgene.
That's it. Scared to hell of it we were. We smelled that sweet smell. And then a fella shouted, "Gas!" And then we put our gas masks on before I realised what it was.
What was it?
A blooming May tree, all out in bloom at the side of the road. We did feel a lot of silly poops, putting on our gas masks for a blooming May tree. Well, I'd better go and relieve Stanhope. I'll curse like hell if I don't. I bet he's got a red-hot liver this morning.
I'll relieve you at 11.
That's right. I don't like this time of the morning one bit on the line. The old Bosch has just had his breakfast. And he sends over a couple of whiz-bangs and rifle grenades, just to show us he ain't forgotten we're here. Still, I'd rather a couple of whiz-bangs and rifle grenades than this damn quiet. Cheero!
Cheero.
Cheero!
I expect Stanhope will let you go on duty alone now.
Will he? About what time?
Well, after me, I expect from about 2 till 4.
I see, thanks.
What do you think about it all?
Alright. I feel I've been here ages.
I expect you do. The time passes, though.
Are we here for 6 days?
Yes. Seems a long time, doesn't it?
It does rather. Can't imagine the end of 6 days here.
Anyhow, we've done 12 hours already. It's fine when you're relieved and go down the line to billets and have a good hot bath and sit and read under trees.
Lord, I feel I haven't seen a tree for ages. Not a real tree with leaves and branches. And yet I've only been here 12 hours.
How did you feel in the front line?
Alright. It seems so frightfully quiet and uncanny. Everybody creeping about and talking in low voices. Of course you've got to talk quietly when you're so near the German front line. About 70 yards, isn't it?
Yes, about the breadth of a rugger field.
It's funny to think it like that.
Oh, I always measure distance like that out here. Keeps it in proportion.
Did you play rugger?
Yes, but mostly reffing at school in the last few years.
You're a schoolmaster then?
Yes, I must apologise.
I don't mind schoolmasters, it's just I've never seen one outside of school.
Well, they do get out sometimes.
Who did you play for?
The Harlequins.
I say, really?
I played for the English team on one great occasion.
What, for England?
I was awfully lucky to get the chance. It's a long time ago now.
But it must have been simply topping. Where did you play?
Wing 3.
I say, I never realised you played for England.
Tuppence to talk to me now. Anyhow, don't grease about it.
Don't the others know?
We never talk about rugger.
They ought to know. It makes them feel jolly bucked.
I don't think it makes much difference out here.
Must be awfully thrilling playing in front of a huge crowd, all shouting and cheering.
You don't really notice it when the game begins.
You're too taken up with the game.
Yes.
You used to get wind up playing at school, with only a few chaps looking on.
You feel it more when there are only a few. Look at this.
What is it?
Trotter's plan to make the time pass more quickly. 144 little circles, one for each hour of 6 days. He's blacked in 6 already. He's 6 hours behind.
It's a rather good idea. I like Trotter.
He's a good chap.
He makes things feel natural.
He's a genuine sort of chap.
That's it, he's genuine. How topping you played for England?
It was rather fun.
The Germans are quite decent. I mean, outside the newspapers.
Yes. I remember one time up at Whiteless, we had a man shot on patrol, just at around dawn. We couldn't get him in that night. He lay out there, groaning, all day. The next night, 3 of our men crawled out to get him in. It was so near the German lines they could have shot our fellows one by one. When our men started dragging the wounded man over the rough ground, a big German officer stood up in their trench and called, "Carry him." And our men stood up and carried the man back. And the German officer even fired lights for them to see by.
How topping.
The next day we blew each other's trenches to blazes.
It all seems rather silly, doesn't it?
It does rather.
I started a letter when I came off duty last night. Where do we put letters to be collected?
Oh, the quartermaster sergeant takes them down after he brings rations up in the evenings.
I think I'll go finish it now if I go on duty soon.
Oh, write it in here if you like. It's more cheery.
That's all right. I've rigged up a sort of table beside my bed.
Righto.
But the foul smell of bacon.
Yes, we've got bacon for breakfast.
So I gather. Have you told Riley about rifle inspection?
No.
Riley,
Yes?
you inspect your platoon's rifles at 9 o'clock.
Right, Stanhope.
I've arranged for 2 wiring parties tonight at 8 o'clock. Corporal Burt with 2 men and Sergeant Baker with 2.
It's very weak at present.
Yes, every company leaves it for the next to do. There are great holes blown out weeks ago.
I know.
Next night we'll put a belt of wire down both sides.
Down the sides.
Yes. If this attack is to come, I'm not going to trust the companies on our sides to hold their ground.
Would you like a nice bit of bacon, sir?
No, thanks. I'll have a cup of tea.
Right, sir.
The Colonel has been speaking to me up there.
Oh, has he been round?
Yes. Says a German prisoner gave the day of attack as the 21st.
That's Thursday.
Yes.
So around dawn the day after tomorrow.
Yes. The second dawn from now.
Then it'll come while we're here.
Yes. We'll come over here and we shall be in the front row of the stalls.
Oh well.
Would you like a nice plate of sardines, sir?
I should loathe it.
Very good, sir.
Did the Colonel have much to say?
Only that when the attack comes, we can't expect any help from behind. We're not to move from here. We've got to stick it.
I see.
I think we've got a good position as long as we wire ourselves right in. I've got to arrange battle positions for each platoon and section this afternoon.
Well, I'm glad it's coming at last. I'm sick of waiting.
What is this extraordinary affair?
Trotter's plan to make the time pass. 144 circles, one for each hour of 6 days.
How many hours are there till dawn on the 21st?
Oh, goodness knows. Not many, I hope.
Let's see. It's nearly 9 o'clock now. That's 24 hours till 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then another 12 till 9 at night. It's 36. Another 9 till 6 the following morning. That's 45 altogether.
What are you going to do?
At the end of the 45th circle, I'm going to draw a little picture of Trotter being blown up in 4 pieces.
Oh, don't spoil his chance. It took him an hour to make that.
You won't see the point, will you? He's no imagination.
I don't suppose he has.
Funny not to have any imagination. Must be rather nice.
A bit dull, I should think.
I suppose it must be rather. I suppose whenever Trotter looks at anything, he must feel like you and I do when we're drowsily drunk.
Poor chap.
Do you think this life sharpens the imagination?
It must.
Whenever I look at anything, nowadays, I tend to see right through, till I get frightened and stop. Looking at your uniform now, I can see your jersey, your shirt, your vest, and then beyond that.
Let's talk about something else.
Sorry, it's a habit that's grown on me lately.
I suppose everybody out here feels more keenly.
I hope so. I wondered if there was anything wrong with me. Do you ever get the sudden feeling that everything is going farther and farther away? Till you're the only thing in the world. And then the world starts going away till you're the only thing in the universe. You get frightened and stop.
Bit of nerve strain, that's all.
You don't think I'm going potty, do you?
Oh, good Lord, no.
You don't really know, do you? You just pretend you do to make me feel better.
When people are going potty, they keep it to themselves. They don't talk about it.
Well, that's all right then. I got that feeling this morning, up in the line at sunrise. You see the sunrise. Wasn't it gorgeous?
Splendid, this morning.
I was looking up towards the Bosch trenches and just beyond, not a soul or sound. Just an enormous plain like a sea that's been churned up. But it's got muddier and muddier, it's so stiff it can't move. You could have heard a pin drop in the quiet. Yet I knew that just beyond there were thousands of guns already oiled and cleaned. Millions of bullets lying in pouches, thousands of Germans just thinking and waiting. And gradually that feeling came back.
I never knew the sun could rise in so many ways till I came out here. Green and pink and blue and red and grey. Extraordinary, isn't it?
Yes. Mason,
Yes, sir?
bring some mugs and a bottle of whiskey.
Yes, sir.
So early in the morning.
It's frightfully cold, isn't it?
I say, this show at the Hippodrome's been running for a long time.
What, Zigzag?
Yes, George Roby's in it.
Harper saw it when he was on leave. Says it's damn good.
I wish I'd seen a show when I was on leave.
You mean to say you didn't see a single show?
No. I spent all the time making a rockery in the garden. In the evenings, I'd sit and smoke and read. My wife would knit socks and play the piano. We pretended there wasn't any war at all, until my two youngsters made me help in a tin soldier battle on the floor.
Dear old Duncan, you just can't get away from it, can you?
I wish I could fight a battle like those two boys of mine. You ought to have seen the way they lured my men under the sofa and mowed them down.
Are you going to have one?
Not now, thanks.
You go on duty at 11, don't you?
Yes, I relieve Trotter.
Riley better go on with you at 1 o'clock. Stay with you for an hour. Then you can stay alone until 4.
Righto.
What's Riley doing now?
Finishing a letter.
Did you tell him?
About what?
Censorship.
You can't mean that seriously.
Mean it? Of course I mean it.
You can't read his letters.
Put yourself in my position, Uncle. A letter going away from here, from a boy like that.
He'll say nothing rotten about you.
You think? Last night, when you went on duty, I got up. I was feeling rotten. I didn't remember Riley was up there with Trotter. I didn't remember he was here at all. Just knew something terrible had happened. Then he came down with Trotter. Just looked at me. After coming in from the night air, this place must have reeked of candle grease and rats and whiskey. There's one thing a boy like that can't stand. It's a smell that isn't fresh. He looked as if I'd punched him between the eyes. As if I'd spat on him.
You imagine things.
Imagine things. There's no need to imagine.
Why can't you treat him like any other youngster?
I'm sorry.
That's all right, Rowley. Going to inspect the rifles.
Yes.
You needn't bother if the wood's a bit dirty. Just the barrels and the magazines and all the metal parts.
Righto.
See, there's plenty of oil on it, and look at the ammunition in the men's pouches.
Right. Where do we put letters to be collected?
Oh, just on the table.
Thanks.
Just leave it open.
Open?
I need to censor all letters.
I haven't said anything about where we are.
It's a rule that all letters must be read.
I didn't realise that. I think I'll just leave it then.
Give me that letter.
Dennis.
Give me that letter.
Dennis, it's private.
Do you understand an order? Give me that letter!
There's nothing. Dennis,
Don't Dennis me! Stanhope is my name! Do you understand? We're not at school anymore. Now go inspect your rifles. Do you understand an order?
Good heavens,
Now
Stanhope.
look here, Osborne. I'm commanding this company. I'll ask for advice when I want it.
Very well.
God, I can't read it.
You let it go then.
I don't care. Don't care.
Shall I glance through it for you?
If you like,
I don't want to.
you better. I can't.
Do you want to hear?
Suppose I better know.
He begins with a description of his getting here. He doesn't mention the names of any places.
What does he say then?
The last piece is about you.
Go on.
He says, "And now I come to the great news. I reported to battalion headquarters, and the colonel looked in a little book and said, 'You report to C Company, Captain Stanhope.' Can't you imagine what I felt? I was taken along some trenches and shown a dugout. There was an awfully nice officer there, quite old, with grey hair. And then later Dennis came in. He looked tired, but that's because he worked so frightfully hard and because of the responsibility. Then I went on duty in the front line, and a sergeant told me all about Dennis. He said that Dennis is the finest officer in the battalion, and the men simply love him. He hardly ever sleeps in the dugout. He's always up in the front line with the men, cheering them on with jokes and making them keen about things, like he did the kids at school. I'm awfully proud to think he's my friend. That's all. Shall I stick it down?"
Yes, please.
Sergeant Major,
Sir.
I want to speak with you. Sit down, have a whiskey.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I say, take a proper one, you'll hardly taste that.
Well, sir. Feeling chilly again, sir? Quite
Yes.
warm this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's your very good health, sir.
Cheery. Now, look here, Sergeant Major. We must expect this attack on Thursday morning, at dawn. That's 2 dawns from now.
Thursday morning. Very good, sir.
We are to hold these trenches and no man is to move from here.
Very good, sir.
It may happen that the companies on our sides give way, exposing our flanks, so I want a belt of wire to be put down both sides till it meets the wire in the support line.
Both flanks. Yes, sir.
When the attack comes, I shall take charge of the left and Mr. Osborne the right. You will be with Mr. Osborne and Sergeant Baker will be with me. 9 and 10 platoons are to move over here, 11 and 12 to the left.
I see, sir.
Is there anything you're not clear on?
Seems all clear, sir.
Anything you'd like to know?
Well, sir, when the attack comes, of course, sir, we beat them off. What if they keep on attacking?
Well, then we keep on beating them off.
What I mean, sir, what if they make a big thing of it?
I think they will.
Well then, sir, if they don't get through the first day, they'll attack the next day and the next.
They're bound to.
Well, why don't we sort of fix up something, sir, about falling back, sir?
See, there's no need. This company is a lot better than A and B companies on either side of us.
Quite, sir.
Well then, if anyone breaks, A or B will break before we do. And as long as we hold our ground while the others break, we can fire at the Boche as they try and get through the holes on our sides.
Yes, sir, but what happens when the Boche gets on the back of us, sir?
Well then we advance and win the war.
Win the war. Very good, sir.
But you do understand exactly what I mean, don't you, Sergeant Major? Our orders are to stay here. When you're told to stick somewhere, you don't make plans to retire.
Quite, sir.
You there, Stanhope?
Yes, what's the matter?
The Colonel's up here. Wants to see you.
All right, I'll come up now.
It's all right, Stanhope. I'll come down.
Anything more, sir?
That's all. I'll see you at stand 2 this morning.
Very good, sir.
Hey, what about this?
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Stanhope. Strong smell of bacon.
Yes, I had bacon for breakfast.
Hangs about, doesn't it?
Rather. Clings to the walls, sir.
A lovely day.
Splendid, sir.
Spring's coming. I'm glad you're alone. I've got some rather serious news.
I'm sorry to hear it, sir. Will you have a drink?
Well, thanks. Just a spot. Here's luck.
Cheerio. Please sit down, sir.
The Brigadier came to see me this morning. Seems almost certain the attack's to come on Thursday morning. They got information from more than one source, but they don't know where it's going to fall the hardest. The Boche began relieving his frontline troops yesterday, and they're bound to put in certain regiments where they're going to make the hardest push, naturally. And the General wants us to make a raid to find out who's come into the line opposite here.
I see. When?
As soon as possible, he said tonight.
Oh, but that's absurd.
I told him so. I said tomorrow afternoon is the earliest. A surprise raid under a smokescreen from my trench mortar people. I think daylight's best. There's not much moon now, and it's vitally important we get hold of a Boche or two.
Quite.
I suggest sending 2 officers and 10 men. Quite enough for the purpose. And just opposite here, there's only, what, 70 yards of no man's land. Tonight, the trench mortars can blow a hole in the Boche wire, and you can cut a hole in yours. Harrison from Trench Mortars is coming in to supper with me tonight to discuss everything. 8 o'clock all right for you?
Very good, sir.
Right, well, I'll leave you to select the men.
Would you like me to go with you, sir?
Well, no, Steno, no. I can't let you go. No, I want 1 officer to direct the raid, another to make the dash in with 10 good men.
Who do you suggest, sir?
Well, I suggest Stanhope for one.
To me, sir.
Oh, no. I would suggest Osborne. He's a very level-headed chap.
Well, who else?
Well, there's Trotter, but he's a bit slow, isn't he? Not much good at dashing in.
No. Do you suggest Hibbert?
Well, what do you think of Hibbert?
No, I think not.
No, I don't think so.
What about sending a good sergeant, sir?
No, I don't think a sergeant. I think the men expect an officer to be brave.
Yes, there is that.
As a matter of fact, Stanhope, I was thinking of that youngster I sent up to you last night.
What, Rudd?
Yes, just the type, plenty of guts.
He's only just got here, sir.
Well, all to the good. His nerves are sound.
It's rotten to send someone who's only just arrived.
Well, who else is there? I could send an officer from another company.
No. No, we'll do it, sir.
In that case, I suggest Osborne to lead the raid and Riley to make the dash in. We'll meet with Harrison tonight to discuss the smoke bombs that blow the wire. You select the men and have a word with Osborne and Riley in the meantime.
Very well.
You better send Osborne and Riley down to me first thing in the morning to discuss everything. Or, no, better still, I'll come up here first thing in the morning.
Very good.
Well, it's necessary.
Suppose it is.
Well, so long, Stanhope. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. Would you like to fish?
Fish, sir.
Yes, we've had some fresh fish sent up from Railhead tonight for supper.
Splendid.
Whiting, I think it is.
Good.
Well, bye-bye.
Hello? Thought you were asleep.
I just wanted a word with you, Stanhope.
Fire away.
Is this neuralgia of mine? I'm awfully sorry. I'm afraid I can't stick it any longer.
It's rotten, isn't it? I've got it like hell.
You have?
Yes. I've had it for weeks.
Well, I'm sorry, Stanhope, but it's no good. I've tried damn hard, but I'm afraid I must go down.
Go down. Where?
You're sick. go down the line. I must go to hospital and have some kind of treatment. I'll go right along now, I think.
I've seen the doctor. I spoke to him this morning. He's not going to send you to hospital. He'll send you back here. He promised me he would. So you can save yourself a walk.
What the hell?
Oh, stop.
I have a perfect right to go sick if I want to. The men can. Why can't an officer?
No man is sent down unless he's very ill. There's nothing wrong with you here. Now look here. The German attack is on Thursday, almost for certain. You're going to stay here and see it through with the rest of us.
No, I can't. Stanhope, you don't understand. I'm going. I've got all my stuff packed. I'm going. You can't stop me. Let's get by, Stanhope.
You're going to stay here and do your job.
Oh, I told you, I can't.
Now look here. Here. I've got a lot of work to do and no time to waste. Once and for all, you're going to stay here and see it through with the rest of us.
I'll die of this pain if I don't go.
Well, better to die of pain than be shot for deserting.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
I have a right to see the doctor.
Good God. You just don't understand, do you? He'll send you back here. Dr. Preston has never let a shirker pass him yet. He's not going to start now, 2 days before the attacks.
Please, if only you knew how awful I feel. Please, let me...
Oh my God. You little swine. You know what that means, don't you? Striking a superior officer. Never mind, though. I won't have you shot for that. If you left, I'd have you shot for deserting. It's a terrible disgrace to die like that. But I'd rather spare you the disgrace. I give you half a minute to decide. You can either stay here and be a man, or go out of that door to desert. If you go, there's going to be an accident. You understand? I'm fiddling with my revolver, cleaning it, and it's going off. It's going to go off, and it's going to shoot you between the eyes. I'd rather spare you the disgrace of the other way. I give you half a minute to decide. Half a minute from now.
Shit. You won't let me go to hospital. I swear I'll never go up those steps again. Shoot. Thank God.
A few more seconds.
Go on. Ready?
10. 5. Good man. I like the way you stuck.
Why did you shoot?
Just stay here, old chap, and see it through with the rest of us.
Stanhope, I've tried like hell, I swear I have. Ever since I came out here, I've hated it, and I've loathed it. Every sound of that makes me feel all cold and sick. I'm different to the others, you don't understand? It's gotten worse and worse, and I can't bear it any longer. I'll never go up those steps again, into the line with the men looking at me, and knowing I'd rather die here.
Have a drop of this, old chap.
No.
Drink it. I know how you feel. I've known all along.
No, how can you know?
Because I feel exactly the same as you do. Every little noise out there makes me feel just as you feel. Why didn't you tell me instead of talking about neuralgia? We all feel like you do sometimes. I hate and loathe it all. Sometimes I wish I could just lie on this bed and pretend I was paralyzed or something and couldn't move until I was dragged away or died.
I can't go up those steps again.
When are you due to go on?
Before.
Should we go on together? We now know how we both feel. Should we see if we can stick it together?
I can't.
Supposing I said I can't. Supposing we all said we can't. What would happen then?
I don't care. What does it matter anyway? It's all just so beastly. Nothing matters.
Supposing the worst thing happened. Eh? Supposing you were knocked straight out. Think of all the men that have gone before us. It can't be very lonely there with all those fellows. Sometimes I think it's lonelier here. Right. Just go and have a rest, and then we'll go up together.
No, Santa, please, let me go. Let me go. Please. Please let me go.
If you went and left Osborne and Trotter and Raleigh and all those men to do your work, would you ever be able to look another man in the face again in all your life? You may be wounded. And if you are, then you can go home and feel proud. And if you're killed, well then you won't have to stand this hell any longer. I might have fired just now. And if I had, you'd be dead. But you're still alive with a straight fighting chance. Take the chance. Chap, and stand in with Osborne and Trotter and Raleigh. Don't you see it worth standing in with men like that? And you know they all feel exactly as you do in their heart. They go on sticking it because they know it's the only thing a decent man can do. What of it?
I'll try.
Good man.
You won't say anything, will you, Stanhope, about all this?
As long as you promise not to tell anyone what a blasted funk I am.
No.
Very well. Now go and have a 10-minute rest and a smoke. And then we'll go up together. We'll hold each other's hands. Jump every time a rat squeaks. We've all got a straight fighting chance, Hibbert. I intend on coming through. Don't you?
Yes. Rather. It's awfully decent of you, Stanhope. Thanks most awfully.
That's all right.
Would you like a nice cup of tea, sir?
Can you guarantee it's nice, Mason?
Oh, sir, it'll be a bit oniony, that's just because of the saucepan.
In other words, it's onion soup with a few tea leaves in.
Not till dinner time, sir.
All right. Bring 2 mugs of the onion tea.
Very
One for
good,
Mr.
sir.
Hibbert in there.
Very good, sir. Would you like a nice cup of tea, sir?
Please, Mason, and plenty of bread and butter and strawberry jam.
Very good, sir.
Well, Uncle, how are things up there?
2 lonely rifle grenades flew over just now.
I heard them. Where did they pitch?
Just over the front line on the left, otherwise nothing doing.
The Colonel's been speaking to me.
How about the attack?
Partly. He wants us to make a raid.
Oh. When?
2 officers and 10 men. Under cover of smoke screen. Tomorrow afternoon.
Oh. Who's going?
You and Raleigh.
Oh. Raleigh.
They want you to direct the raid and Raleigh to dash in.
I see.
The brigade wants to know who's directly opposite.
Tomorrow, what time?
suggest 5 o'clock, a little before dusk.
I see.
Damn sorry.
That's all right, old chap.
I'm having dinner with the Colonel tonight to go over everything. I'll come back here and explain the arrangements to you.
Where do we raid from?
The south, on the left. Straight across.
You show me on the map.
Yes. Look. Straight across to this sentry post of the Bosch. 60 yards. Tonight we'll lay out guiding tape as far as possible, and the Torquemers will break holes in the Bosch wire, and we'll cut a passage throughout.
Will you fix up the men who are to go?
Yes. Are you keen on any men?
Can I take a corporal?
Righto.
May I have young crooks?
Sure.
I suppose you'll ask for volunteers.
Yes, I'll go up and speak to the Sergeant Major now. Time to go round for names.
Your tea, sir.
Keep it hot, Mason.
Will you take this cup, Mr. Osborne?
Take the other to Mr. Hibbert in there. Shan't be long, Uncle.
Righto.
Do you want the bread and butter slice, sir, or shall I bring the old loaf?
Cut it, Mason, please.
Bring in the jam separately, sir?
Yes.
Very good, sir.
Is the tea ready?
Yes.
Where's Hibbert got his tea in there?
I don't know.
Oh, Lord, I feel frowsy. I had a fine sleep, though.
Bread's just coming, sir. Here's the strawberry jam.
Tell me, Mother, what is that? It looks like strawberry jam. Hush, hush, my dear. It's only Pa, run over by a tram.
The Colonel came here while you were asleep.
Oh?
We've got to make a raid tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, Lord. What, all of us?
2 officers and 10 men.
Who's going?
Raleigh and I.
Raleigh.
Yes.
But he's only just come.
Apparently that's the reason.
And you're going.
Yes.
Well, tell me all about it.
I know nothing yet, except that it's got to be done.
What a nuisance.
It is rather.
I reckon the Bosch are already expecting us. Did you hear about the raid just south of here the other night?
Nothing much.
The trench mortars go and knock a hole in the Bosch fence to let our fellas through. At night the Bosch come back, sneak through the hole and tie bits of red rag around it.
Yes, I heard about that.
It was murder. Even then our fellas had to make the raid. Doesn't this tea taste of onions?
Does a bit.
Pity Mason doesn't wash his pots better. This tea tastes of onion.
I'm sorry, sir. Onions do have a way of cropping up.
We haven't had onions for days.
I know, sir. That's what makes it so funny. I'll look into it, sir.
Joking aside, it's damn ridiculous trying to make a raid when the Bosch are expecting us.
We're not doing it for fun.
I know. I know.
You might avoid talking to Raleigh about it.
Why, what do you mean?
There's no need to tell him it's murder.
Oh, Lord, no, look. I'm sorry he's got to go. He's a nice young fella. What are you reading?
Just a book.
What's the title?
Ever read it?
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. That's a kid's book.
Yes.
You're not reading it, are you?
Yes.
What a kid's book?
Haven't you read it?
No.
You ought to. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale. How cheerfully he seems to grin, and neatly spread his claws, and welcome little fishes in, with gently smiling jaws.
I don't see no point in that.
Exactly. That's just the point.
You're a funny chap.
Sergeant Major is getting volunteers.
Good.
I'm sorry to hear about the raid, Skipper.
So am I. What'd you make the time?
About 4.
Was Hibbert asleep when you came through?
He was just lying on his bed smoking.
Hibbert! Ready, sir. Here's some tea.
I reckon Riley will be glad to be relieved. It's rotten being on duty for the first time alone.
I don't think he minds. She'll be up there some time. Why don't you turn in and get some rest? You've been on the go all day. There's too much to do. This raid is going to upset the wiring party's arrangements. The kind of men out there while the talk hammers are blowing holes in the wire. Ready, my lad? Come on.
I can't understand that fellow one bit, can you?
Who?
Why, Ebbert, of course. He told me back there he had hay fever. His eyes were all red.
Rotten thing, hay fever.
Why, if you ask me, he's been crying.
Maybe.
Funny little bloke, isn't he?
Yes. I say, do you mind? I just want to get a letter off.
Well, they haven't collected him yet, have they?
Not yet.
Ah, well, I'll get one off to my old lady. She's wrote and asked if I got fleas.
Have you?
I wish it was fleas.
I say, Stanhope's told me about the raid.
Has he?
Just you and me, isn't it? And 10 men.
Yes, tomorrow. Just before dusk, under a smoke cloud.
It's most frightfully exciting.
We shall know more about it after Stanhope sees the Colonel tonight.
Were you and I picked specially?
Yes.
I say.
Mason!
Yes, sir?
You making the coffee?
Yes, sir.
Make it hot and strong. Ready in 5 minutes. I'll call when it's wanted.
Very good, sir. Everything ready?
Yes, sir. You've no news then?
No, I'm afraid not. It's got to be done.
I see.
And the Brigadier said the Boche did the same thing just south of here the other day.
I know, but didn't you suggest we altered our plans?
Yes.
Made a surprise raid farther up the line after dark.
I suggested that.
And what did he say?
He said the present arrangements have got to stand.
Surely he must realise...
Look here, Stanhope. I've done all I can. But you'll just have to live with it.
What time are they going to go?
Well, it's exactly 19 minutes to now.
30 seconds behind me.
Funny we checked this morning.
Yes, it's close enough. We shan't go till the smoke blows across.
The smoke should blow across nicely. The wind's just right. I called on the trench mortars on the way up. Everything's ready. They'll drop the smoke bombs 30 yards to the right.
Are you going to stay here?
I think I'll watch from the trench just above. Bring the prisoners straight back here. We'll question them right away.
Why not take them straight down to your headquarters?
Well, the Bosch are bound to shell pretty heavily. I don't want to take the chance of them being knocked out before we've had a chance to talk to them.
Very well, we'll bring them down here.
It's no use getting depressed. It's only 60 yards. The Bosch will be firing into a blank fog. Osborne's a cool, level-headed chap, and Riley's the very man to dash in. You pick good men to follow them?
The best. All youngsters. Strong, keen chaps.
You know, I'd give anything to cancel the whole beastly affair.
I know you would, sir.
Have these red rags on the wire upset the men at all?
It's difficult to tell. Naturally, they take it as a joke. They say it's just what they want to show them the way through.
That's the spirit, Stanhope. Well, Osborne, everything ready?
Yes, I think we're all ready, sir. I make it just 1:45.
That's right.
The men will stand by at 3 minutes to.
The smoke bombs drop exactly on the hour. You'll give the word to go as soon as the smoke is thick enough?
That's right, sir.
Hey, son!
Coming, sir.
Were the men having their rub?
Yes, just after we left. It gives it 1/4 of an hour to soak in.
That's right. Are they cheerful?
Yes. Quite.
Are you going to go and speak to them, sir?
Well, don't you think they'd rather be left alone?
I think they would appreciate a word or two.
All right, if you think they would.
They're all in the centre dugout, sir.
Thanks. You coming, Stanhope?
Yes, I'll come, sir.
Well, good luck, Osborne. I'm sure you'll put up a good show.
Thank you, sir.
And Raleigh, just go in like blazes and grab hold of the first Bosch you see. One will do, but bring more if you see any hand.
Right, sir.
And if you succeed, I recommend you both for the MC.
Very kind.
Remember, a great deal may depend on bringing in a German. It may mean the winning of the whole war. You never know. Well, good luck to you both. Oh, and don't forget to empty your pockets of papers and things.
Oh, no, sir.
I say stand up. Just a moment. Hello. Don't think I'm being morbid or anything like that, but would you mind looking after these for me?
Sure, until you come back.
It's only just in case. If anything should happen, would you send these along to my wife?
You're coming back, old man. What on earth would I do without you?
Goodness knows.
I must have somebody to tuck me up in bed. Right. Make sure you have a decent touch of rum in the coffee. I'll see you up in the sack before you go.
Right now.
Cheer up.
Just time for a small pipe. What about this coffee?
Sure.
Do you have a spot of rum in it?
Don't you think that might make us a bit muzzy?
I'm just having the coffee as it is.
I think I will too.
We'll have the rum afterwards to celebrate.
It's a much better idea.
How do you feel?
All right, thanks.
I've got a sort of empty feeling inside.
Yes, I've got that too.
Wind up.
I keep wanting to yawn.
That's it, wind up. I keep wanting to yawn too. It'll pass off directly we start.
Wish we could go now.
We've got 8 minutes yet.
Lord.
Let's have one last look at the map. Directly the smoke's thick enough. I'll give the word and you run straight for this point here.
When I get to the bourgeois, I lie down and wait for you.
Don't forget to throw your smoke bombs.
No, I've got them here.
When I shout right out, In you go with your 8 men. I'll lie on the Bosch parapet and blow my whistle now and then to let you know where I am. You pounce on the first Bosch you see and bundle him out to me.
Right, sir.
Then we come back to our places.
And the whole thing will be over quite quickly?
With luck, I think we should be back in 3 minutes.
Quick as that?
I think so. Now let's forget all about it for 6 minutes.
Lord, I can't.
You must.
How topping if we both get the MC?
Yes. Your coffee's sweet enough.
Yes. Jolly good coffee. I wonder what the Bosch are doing over there now.
Oh, I don't know. Do you like coffee better than tea?
I do for breakfast. Do these smoke bombs make much of a row when they burst?
Oh, not much. Personally, I like cocoa for breakfast.
I'm sorry?
Why, sorry. Why shouldn't I have cocoa for breakfast?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. It's just, it's really so difficult to talk about anything else. I was wondering, will the Bosch retaliate in any way after the raid?
Bound to a bit.
Shelling?
The time has come, the war has said, to talk of many things. Of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings.
And why the sea is boiling hot and where the pigs have wings.
Now we're off. Quick, let's talk about pigs. Black pigs or white pigs?
Black pigs. The New Forest, you find them quite wild.
You know the New Forest?
Yes, I live down there. A little place called Alum Green, just outside Lyndhurst.
I know Lyndhurst well.
It's rather nice down there.
I like it more than any place I know.
I think I do too. Of course, it's always different when you've lived in the place.
You like it in a different way.
Yes. Just behind our house, there's a stream called the Highland. Went straight through the forest. Dennis and I followed it once as far as we could.
I used to walk a lot round Lyndhurst.
Wish we'd known each other back then.
I should have liked to. I used to walk alone.
You must come and stay with us.
One day. I should like to. Awfully.
I'll show you the places in the forest that only me and Dennis know about. It gets thicker and darker and cooler. And you stir up all kinds of wild animals.
They said there are ruins in the forest of villages that William the Conqueror pulled down to let the forest grow.
I know, me and Dennis used to look for them. We haven't found anything yet.
Oh, I'll find them all right.
Then you can write to the papers. Dramatic discovery by Professor Osborne.
I did go exploring once, digging up Roman remains.
Did you find anything?
We found a horseshoe and a Roman penny.
Splendid.
It's awfully fascinating, digging like that.
It must be. Is it time yet?
2 minutes. Then we must go up. I wish we had a good hot bath waiting for us when we get back.
So do I. We're having something special for dinner, aren't we?
How did you know? It's supposed to be a secret.
Mason dropped a hint.
Well, we've had a fresh chicken sent up from Noyelle Farm.
I say.
At a most awful luxury, 2 bottles of champagne and half a dozen cigars. 1 each and 1 spare one in case one explodes.
Never smoked a cigar before.
Oh, it's bound to make you sick.
I say, did you awake?
Yes, I'm leaving it here. I don't want the risk of losing it.
Oh.
I think perhaps we ought to get ready.
Righto.
I'm not wearing my belt. Just my revolver with the lanyard around my neck.
I think I will too. Feel better with it in my hand, don't you?
Yes. Something to hold. Loaded all right?
Yes.
I do hate leaving my pipe when it's got a nice glow on the top like that.
What a pity.
3 minutes to. I think we'd better go on.
How so?
You know, I'm awfully glad it's you and I together, Ronnie.
Are you? Really?
Yes.
Then so am I. Awfully.
We must put up a good show.
Yes, rather.
Let's go along, shall we?
How so?
Good luck, sir.
Thanks, Mason.
Good luck, Mr. Raleigh.
Thanks.
Right, sir, come down quickly. How many? Only one. Right, sir?
No, it's all right.
Come down, Sergeant Major, quickly.
Coming, sir!
You won't want me to stay, will you?
Well,
I want to go up and speak to the men.
oh, all right.
All right, Saggy, no one's going to hurt you.
Mercy, Mr. Mercy.
Come on, lad, calm down.
Was ist sein Regiment?
Württembergisches.
Was ist die Nummer von sein Regiment?
20.
20th Württembergers. Wann kommen Sie her?
Gestern Abend.
Wo kommen Sie her?
Mein Geburtsort.
What's that?
You fish to know where I was born.
No. What town did you come up to the line from?
I do not tell you.
Oh, well, that's all right. Search it.
Looks like his pig book, sir.
Good.
Stop that.
Lassen Sie mich.
You let go.
Let me please keep that.
Look like letters. Maybe useful. Anything else, Sergeant Major?
Ordnance, sir. Piece of string, sir. Little box of fruit drops. Pocket knife, sir. And a stick of cedar pencils.
Let him have those back, apart from the pocket knife.
Good, sir. Maybe I'll say.
All right, Sergeant Major, take him back to my headquarters. I'll question him again there later.
Very good, sir. That'll be good, sir.
Good. Splendid. Splendid, Stanhope, splendid. We've got everything we wanted. 20th Württembergers. His regiment came into the line last night. I must go right away and phone the brigadier. He'll be very pleased. It's a feather in our cap, Stanhope.
Awfully nice. The brigadier's pleased.
Oh, what about the raiding party? Are they all safely back?
You expect them to all be safely back, sir?
What,
All men and Raleigh came back safely.
Oh, I say, I'm very sorry. That's 6 men and Osborne. I'm very sorry. Poor Osborne.
Still, it'll be awfully nice if the brigadier's pleased.
Don't be silly, Stanhope. Do you know what happened to Osborne?
Hand grenade while he was waiting for Raleigh.
I'm very sorry. And the 6 men?
Machine gun bullets, I suppose.
Yes. I was afraid. Well done, Raleigh. Very well done, my boy. I'll get you a military cross for this. Sit down over here. Have a good rest. Well, I must be off. Very well done.
Must you sit on Osborne's bed?
Sorry.
What did she say to that?
She said, not in these trousers, in French.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I simply drew myself up and I said, very well, mademoiselle, have it your own way.
And she did?
No, she didn't.
Oh, Skipper, you are a scream and no mistake.
I'll never forget picking up a couple of tarts one night and taking them out for dinner.
Pays off again.
We drank enough bubbly to sink a battleship.
To float a battleship.
To float a battleship, yes. And then I took him for a joyride out to Maidenhead. Did 60 all the way. Then we danced through a bit of Skindles and drank a lot of port and muck. Then, damned if I didn't lose the way coming back. Got landed miles from anywhere. And these tarts were cursing me like hell, saying I did it on purpose. So I said, if they didn't bloody well shut up, I'd chuck them both out on the road and leave them.
Hurrah! That's the spirit. Treat them rough.
Yes, that shut them up all right. Then I started doing 60 on the way back down all sorts of roads. Went around a corner on 2 wheels with these girls' hair on end. I didn't have any more trouble from them.
You're the kind of man that makes women difficult to please.
Well, I never had no motor car. Me and my old lady, we used to settle for walking. Legs is good enough for me.
You're satisfied with legs?
I am, yes.
Oh, it's cheaper.
Damn good.
Well then, here's a toast to legs. God bless them.
Good old legs.
Shanks mare.
Shanks what?
Shanks mare, they call them.
Call what?
Why, legs, of course.
You're a dream.
You've had too much champagne, you have.
Whoa, I've never shown you these, have I, boys?
Where did you get these?
In Bethune. She's alright, isn't she?
A bit fat.
Oh, I don't know.
Much too fat. What do you think, Trotter?
Alright, isn't she?
If you ask me, I'd rather have a decent picture of Margate Pier.
Oh, you just don't understand art, Trotter. Here's a nice pair of legs for you.
Too thin, aren't they?
Scraggy, I call them.
Now this one. This is the one I like best.
Not bad.
Glorious bedroom eyes.
She's all right.
Did you see that show Zip at the Hippodrome? A pair of damn fine girls in that, twins. Did you see that, Skipper?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of shows. Now then, down that bubbly. Mason!
Yes, sir.
Bring some whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Whiskey,
sir.
Whiskey. On top of champagne.
Yes, it's all right.
Ah, it doesn't sound right to me. I feel as though someone's blown me up with a bicycle pump.
Yes, you look it too.
Anyhow, it was a jolly fine bit of chicken, and I would walk a mile a day for a piece of that jam pudding.
Mason, your pudding has made Mr. Trotter feel all blown out.
I'm sorry, sir, but man.
Ah, that was fine, Mason. Take it from me, I know a decent bit of jam pudding.
It was only boiled Russian biscuits and jam, sir. I'm sorry to say, sir, this is the last bottle.
What? We brought 6.
I know, but 5's gone.
And where have they gone to?
Well, you remember the first night we had one, and then the second night?
Okay. You don't have to go through them one by one. This will last till sunrise. Sunrise tomorrow, my lads.
Oh, forget that.
You bet we will. Now then, who's for a spot?
No, I'm about full up. I'd like a nice cup of tea, Mason.
Right, you are, sir.
Tea.
Yeah, a decent cup of tea is what I want. Oh, but go on. A spoonful. I've got a touch of palpitations.
There we go. Say when.
What? Yeah, that's enough.
You'll have a decent spot, won't you?
Yes, I'm game. Yeah, a nice cup of tea and then I'll go and relieve Riley. It's a pity he didn't come down to supper.
I don't know why he didn't. I told him to come down at 8 o'clock and let the Sergeant Major take over for an hour.
I wonder why he didn't come.
That lad's too keen on his duty. He told me that he preferred being up there with the men than down here with us.
He said that?
Yes. I told him about the chicken and the champagne and the cigars, and he just looked at me and he said, "You're not having that, are you?" Just as if he thought we were going to chuck it away.
Well, I reckon that raid shook him up more than we thought. I like that lad. He's strong and he's got blood. Did you see him dragging that Bosch back through the smoke?
Did you see him afterwards, though? He came down to that dugout over there, stared straight ahead of him. Didn't say a word, barely seemed to know where he was.
He's just a kid.
He actually said that he preferred being out there with the men than down here with us.
That's what he said.
I hope he gets the MC, that's all. I like that kid. He's strong and he's got pluck. Just the kind of kid I'd like to have if ever I have
You
one.
think I want to speak about that bloody raid?
No, but after
Well, then
all...
shut up!
All right, all right.
We're having a pleasant evening till you started blabbing
I
about
didn't start it.
Yes, you did!
You started.
Well then, stop it!
All right, Skipper.
Did I ever tell you about the time I met a girl in Soho?
I don't know, I expect you to.
Oh, this will amuse you. I'd been to a dance and I was coming home quite late.
Yes. It's quite late now. You go on duty at 11, you better get some sleep.
Oh, it's fine, I'm fresh as a daisy.
You may be. Go to bed.
What?
I said go to bed.
I say, that's a nice end to a jolly evening.
I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Well, you better go to bed.
What was that you said?
I was only joking, Skipper.
I asked you what you said.
I said you better go to bed.
Clear out of it.
What?
Get out of my sight.
I say, now look here.
Get out! That worm drives me insane.
I've never seen him so cheerful out here before.
Doesn't he nearly drive you mad?
I reckon he only wanted to stay cheerful.
Doesn't his repulsive little mind make you feel sick? I envy you, Trotter. Nothing upsets you, does it? You always feel the same.
Always the same, am I? Little you know.
You never get tired to death of anything or so happy you want to sing.
Well, I whistle sometimes.
Oh, but you always feel the same.
I feel all blown out now. So that's postcards. It's funny a bloke like that carrying them postcards around. Well, I suppose it satisfies his lust. Well, I better go and relieve Riley. It is a pity he didn't come down to supper.
You realise you're my second in command now, don't you?
Well, you never said anything about it, but,
Well, you are.
well, thanks, Skipper. I won't let you down.
When you come back from duty, I want you to have a decent sleep. You need to be ready at 5:30.
All right. Well, I'll be heading up now then. It'll give me a chance to cool off. It's hot as hell down here with all them candles burning.
I suppose it is. My head is nearly splitting.
There's a mist rising.
Is there? Chiro! Mason,
Yes, sir.
you may bring Mr. Riley's dinner in.
Very good, sir.
I thought I told you to come down at 8 o'clock.
Well, I didn't think you'd,
Well, you didn't think I would, what?
I didn't think you'd, mind if I didn't.
I see. And why do you think I'd ask if I didn't mind?
I'm sorry.
I kept your dinner for you here.
It's awfully decent of you to have kept it for me, but I had something to eat up there.
You had something to eat up there. What do you mean exactly?
While I was on duty, they brought tea round. I had a cup and some bread and cheese.
Are you telling me you've been feeding with the men?
Sergeant Baker suggested.
So you take your orders from Sergeant Baker now, do you?
Well, no, but
You eat the men's food when there's barely enough rations for each man. Now look here, Ronnie. I know you're fairly new to all this, but I thought you'd at least have the common sense to leave the men alone to their meals. Do you think they want an officer prowling around them, sucking up to them like that? My officers are here to be respected. You understand? Not laughed at.
what if they asked me? They didn't mean it.
Don't you see they were making a fool of you?
But why should they?
So you know more about my men than I do. Is that it?
I'm sorry. I was wrong.
Sit down.
Should I try and
Sit down! I hear that you prefer being up there with the men than down here with us.
I don't see what you mean.
What did you tell him?
Hibbert, I didn't...
Don't lie.
I'm not lying. Why should I lie?
Then why did you come down at 8 o'clock, as I asked you to?
I wasn't hungry. I had a bit of a headache. It's cooler up there.
You offended Trotter and Hibbert by not coming down. You know that, don't you?
Didn't mean to do anything like that.
Well, you did. Suppose now you know, don't you? I said, now you know, don't you?
Yes, I'm sorry.
My officers work together. I'll have no damn prigs.
I'll speak to Trotter, but I didn't realise.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Is there anything funny about me?
No. I'm awfully sorry, Dennis, if I annoyed you by coming into your
What
company.
on earth are you talking about?
You resent me being here.
Resent you being here?
Oh, ever since I came.
I resent you being a damn fool. That's all. You better eat your dinner before it goes cold.
Hungry, thanks.
Oh, just eat it like a man.
I can't eat it, thanks.
Are you going to eat your supper?
Good God! Don't you understand? How can I sit here and eat when Osborne's lying out there?
You little swine. You think that I don't care. You think that you're the only soul that cares.
And yet you sit here and drink champagne and smoke cigars.
The one man that I could trust over any other man. And you think that I don't care.
How can you when...
To forget! Little fool, to forget. Do you see? Do you think there's no limit to what a man can bear?
I'm awfully sorry, Dennis. I didn't understand. If only you knew.
Just go away.
Can't I?
Please. Please.
Sir? Sir? Yes? 5:30, sir.
Oh. I was only half asleep. I keep on waking up. It's frightfully cold in here.
It's a very cold dugout, sir, yeah. I made some hot tea.
You might bring me some. Take some to the men in there and wake them up.
Very good, sir.
Wash and brush up? Tuppence?
Hello. I thought you were asleep.
I had a decent sleep when I came off duty. What's the time?
5:30. It's almost getting light. You better buck up.
Alright. I shan't be long. Sounds quiet enough out there.
Yes.
That's what I want. A decent cup of tea.
Nice hot tea, sir. I'll cut some packets of sandwiches for the gentlemen, sir.
Good. You might wake up the others while you're in there.
I'll woke them up, Skipper. They're getting their things on.
Mason, once you've cleared your kitchen, I want you to get dressed and join your platoon in the line. If everything's going well, it's 11 o'clock, you can come back down and fix us some lunch. We'll come down in turn as we can.
Very good, sir.
The German officers cross the Rhine, parlez-vous! The German officers cross the Rhine, parlez-vous! Oh, thank you kindly, Governor.
Good morning, Sergeant Major.
Good morning, sir. Wiring parties are just in, so made a decent job it took, sir. Back down to support line.
Good. Everything quiet?
It's all right opposite here, sir, but the guns are going hard down south. Heavy bombardment. What's the break up this way, sir?
Very likely it is. The officers are getting ready. They'll stand in with their platoons in a minute. I need to stay here a while in case of any messages.
Very good, sir.
Very well. Thank you, Sergeant Major.
Nothing more, sir.
That's all. Thank you, Sergeant Major.
Good, sir.
Your sandwiches, sir. Bully beef, sardine on top, sir.
How delightful. No pâté de foie gras.
No what, sir?
No pâté de foie gras.
No, not with them been yet, sir.
Come on, you better get dressed.
All right, sir.
All ready, Skipper. You want me to go up?
Yes. Have a good look round and make sure everything's okay.
Righto. Hello, hello.
Down over Lance's Avenue. The reserve line. You better go on. Call the others.
Righto. That's me around. Hey, bud! Ronnie, come on!
Make sure you send one of your runners down. Let me know how things are going.
Righto.
Do you want me to go up?
Yes, Riley. Trotter's already gone.
Right. Cheerio, Stanhope.
Cheerio. I'll be up there soon. Hey, Bert! Hey, Bert! What are you doing? Come along, man. Do you want me to go up? Yes, of course I do.
Have we got any water?
Why do you want water?
My mouth's so dry and so frightfully thirsty.
Here you are. Didn't you have any tea?
Yes. It was a bit sweet.
Come on, back up.
There's no appalling hurry, is there?
No hurry. What the hell is the matter with you?
Trotter and Riley up there.
Yes, they've gone up already.
It's my mouth's dry. It's that champagne. Dry my mouth out.
The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to go up.
You don't think that?
You're just wasting as much time as you can.
Well, damn it, it's no use going up until I feel fit. It's just
small water.
I'll go right along, sir. I'm able to find to last for about 3 hours. I'd like to come down about 9 and lock the checking, sir.
Very well, Mason. You can go up with Mr. Hibbert now.
I'd like to go along with you, sir. I ain't been to this part of the night before. I might get lost.
Mr. Hibbert will show you the way up. Make sure your men are keeping to the back wall of the trenches, as long as the shelling's going over. Cheerio.
Beginning to get hot, sir. Shells on the front line, Vinny's down the support line.
Be ahead.
Corporal Ross, I think it was, sir. Vinny came to the trench in the corner, just like I'm away.
Corporal Ross hit.
Yes, sir.
Badly?
Pretty badly, sir.
Right. Most of the shelling's going over, isn't it?
Most of the shells is behind, sir. Rifles and mini grenades are down the front line. Pretty hot it's getting, so they're fighting down south. There's rifle fire.
Very well. Thank you, Sergeant Major.
What I come to ask, sir, what about the wounded, sir? Bringing them down, sir. The shell is pretty thick over Lancers Alley.
What about Foss Way?
Pretty bad there too, sir.
Oh, well, don't try then. Just take them to the big dugout on the right and let the stretcher bearers do what they can there.
Very good, sir.
All right, Sergeant Major. Corporal Ross is the only one hit.
That's all, sir. Mr. Raleigh, sir.
What?
Mr. Raleigh's been hit, sir. There's shells got him in the back, sir.
Badly.
Afraid he's broke his spine, sir. Can't move his legs.
Right. Bring him down here.
Down here.
Yes, down here, quickly! He's out there, bro.
He's fainted, sir. He was conscious. We picked him up, sir.
Have they dressed the wound?
They put a pad on it, sir. That's all they could do, sir.
Right, go and get 2 men with a stretcher.
We never get him down, sir, with all his shelling over Lancers Alley.
Did you hear what I said?
Very good, sir!
You got one quickly.
How did I get down here?
Broughton carried you down.
Something hits me in the back. Knocks me clean over. I'm alright now, though.
I did quietly.
Happened once before. I got hit in the same place as Dragon. Doesn't numb you for a bit. Well, what's that mumbling noise?
It's the guns.
Our gun?
But mostly theirs.
I say Dennis.
Yes, oh boy.
It hasn't gone through, has it? Only just knocked me down.
Only gone through a little.
I won't have to go online here, will I?
No. I'm going to have you taken away.
Away? Where?
To the dressing station and then hospital and then home. You've got a blighty one, Jimmy.
Can't just go home for a knock in the back. I'm certain it'll be better if I... Ah! God, it does hurt!
Just lie there quietly.
So, awfully decent of you to bother, Dennis. Everybody else up there.
It's quite alright.
So damn silly of me getting here.
It's not your fault.
A drop of water.
Yes, of course. It's got a few tea leaves in it. Do you mind?
So what, thanks. Dennis.
Yes, old chap.
Can you stay for a bit?
Of course. Of course.
Thanks. Awfully.
It's quite alright.
Dennis.
Yes? Oh boy.
You get some light. It's frightfully dark and cold.
Of course, I'll get a candle and a blanket. Right. There we go. How's that, Jimmy? Better? Jimmy?
Message from Mr. Trotter, sir. Will you come immediately? Mr. Trotter, sir. Will you come immediately?
All right.